Hey everybody, this is Keisha with Lakisha, Keene, Saving Greens, and welcome to my channel. You guys, I have a confession to make. I am so bad with remembering to pick up my camera to get things on video. I get task oriented and focused, and then next thing you know, I'm doing the work and getting it done, and then I remember or think about it later. Oh, I should have picked up my camera. And it happens to me very often. So I wanted to bring you guys along and show you my last video or previous video to this video. Was my beach trip, and we went and we collected some seaweed. So I said I was going to show you what we're going to do. You guys, I'm trying out, you can barely see it in there, but that aqua color, did you see down right there? I planted, it was a lettuce seed tape that I got from someone, and I planted in there so I can see if it'll grow, see if it works. I've never used one before, and this one didn't come with directions on how to do it, so I wanted to bring you along while I plant lettuce seed tape that I got from my uncle when I visited him in the summer. He gave me a box that contained lettuce seed tape, pepper, sweet pepper seed tape, tomato, cherry tomato seed tape, and cucumber seed tape. So I wanted to test this out. I found the location I want to put it in right here in this bed. So, and I'm going to put it right under this water tubing here. Now, I've never grown this before, never tried this before. I didn't even know that it was an option until he gave this to me. So I just did a little trench. It's not really deep. I'm just going to set you right here so you can see what it is I'm doing. Look how pretty this lettuce is. I just used some of this lettuce. I came out and cut some of it last night to use on some tostadas that I made for dinner. So I'll put a picture up so you can see what that looked like. But I'm interested to see what variety this lettuce is going to be, and whether it comes up, or how healthy it is, or I don't know what to expect. So we'll see. Anyways, I was telling you about the seaweed that I collected. So I was supposed to show you how I used it in my garden. What had happened was I ended up just doing all the work, and I didn't get any video. I got photos. I put it on my Instagram, but I did not get any video. So I'm just going to show you, I guess, the aftermath, what it looks like now that I've applied it. In here, I mean, it's hard to see, but I did put the seaweed under the weed fabric here. And what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to get some more super poop to put mound on top of this, because this is where my watermelons are going to be growing. This is going to be my watermelon bed. So and that's one of the places I use the seaweed, and I'm going to show you some more places. These are those cabbages and broccolis that I planted. They're hanging in there. I think they went through a little bit of a transplant shock, but they're hanging in there. And then garlic, the elephant garlic that I planted here. So let me take you over here and show you where else I applied the seaweed. Okay, so the seaweed is a part of an experiment that I'm doing. I've never used seaweed before in my garden, and this is my first time, so I'm experimenting with it at best, just to see if it does what they say it should do, which they say it has something like over 90 different minerals and nutrients and so much good stuff in it. So I'm hopeful. Now, if you guys remember, this bed right here is where I usually plant my corn, and so I really wanted to get some seaweed in there, and you can see it's there in all its smelly glory. It's there. It's already. Now, I just applied this out here yesterday, so it's already like dried out. When I took it out of the bags, it was still nice and wet and moist and gooey. It was gooey. And so I did not rinse this. In this bed, the seaweed that's in this bed, and my tomato row here, I did not rinse it. Now, I did rinse and soak, well, not rinse, but soak. I did soak some of the seaweed, and that seaweed I ended up using in my watermelon bed that you saw. But for tomato row, I did not. I just applied the seaweed directly from the bag to the box. So, and I did every other box. First box seaweed, second box is without. The next box down the way here, right there, is with seaweed. I did that on purpose for a reason, because I'm running 2 experiments. My second experiment that I'm gonna do a whole nother video on, so you don't get to hear in this video what my plans are for that yet. But you can see the seaweed is down in here, and in some areas it's wet because of my sprinklers that I have in here, because of the water. Other than that, the seaweed had already started to decay and break down in the bags where I had it. And the seaweed that I had put in the water to soak was already breaking down in the water. So it works out really good. That bed has seaweed. This is without. That bed has seaweed. And then these last 2 beds are without the seaweed. But I'm going to put something else special in this one as part of my experiment. And then this bed at the very end is going to stay just neutral. I'm not adding anything to it except for the super poop. That's it. So, and then all my containers are going to be, they're not part of the experiment. I'm going to fill them up with super poop and other things. So anyways, I soaked them. This is what I soaked them in right here. I soaked them in these containers. I did this yesterday. I didn't even rinse the sand and stuff out yet. I still need to. But as you can see, there's a lot of sand that came off of them. I tried not to get the sand as much as possible in the boxes, but some of it probably got in. And this is the water that I saved after soaking the seaweed. It's red. Now, my whole theory with this is the nutrients and minerals and stuff that was on the seaweed when it was soaking, infused with the water. And yeah, there's some salt also in there, possibly, probably. So what I'm gonna do is dilute this whenever I go to use it in my garden. I'll put some in a bottle, dilute it, And depending on the use that I have for it, from what I hear, the sea salt water is good for pest control. So I'm going to use it as a foliar spray to spray on the leaves and stuff if there's like aphids and other pests. I heard that or read it was also good for as an antifungal, that it will do away with powdery mildew, stuff like that. So, and then I want to try it as just a regular fertilizer, a boost, and put even more water, dilute it down even more, and add it to the soil as a fertilizer. So we'll see what happens. I had a lot of mixed reviews on this one. People were saying, yeah, seaweed is great. We use seaweed. We don't even rinse ours. We just put it in the garden direct and it works fine. And then I had other people say, no, don't do it. You have to rinse the seaweed. It has to, you have to get all the salt out of it first and then you can apply it. So the point and purpose of me experimenting is so that I can learn for myself what works and what doesn't work. There's so many split reviews on it that it's like, well, I don't know what to believe, so I'll believe my own eyes as I try it out. I brought you over here in my mess. It's a mess right now. See that? Look over there. It's a mess. But I brought you over here because I wanted to tell you that I am going to be starting a new project. And that's why these boards are all out right here. And I don't have it out yet. I think it's still in the trunk of the car. These boards are from our patio cover that we had, our old patio cover that I'm going to recycle and reuse. But while I was at Lowe's looking for something else that I could use to accompany that in my project, a vendor was in there and he was stacking and stocking all of his lumbers and stuff that they purchased from him to sell. And anyways, he had a basket of all these little, it was like a 1 inch by like maybe a 1/4 inch thick or 1/2 inch thick little boards that they use to in between on the displays and stuff. And he had a basket full right there, and my husband asked him about it. He said, oh, if you want it, you can have it for free. Just make sure that the store is okay with you taking it. So I talked to someone in the front who knew exactly what those was used for, knew it wasn't nothing that they sold. And she was like, yeah, take them. We don't care. It's fine. I know exactly what it is, and it's not necessary. So, I mean, we don't sell it, so go ahead and take it. So I was like, yes. So I got a basket full of these wooden sticks. I'm going to show you a photo of it. Or you'll probably see it when I start working on my project. But I was so happy with that. Look at this, you guys. My apple tree, it never went into full sleep mode. Look at that. It still has leaves on it. It never lost all of its leaves. It dropped most of its leaves, but it still had some leaves left on it that it didn't drop. This weather has been so weird this winter, so mild, and now it's just sprouting out new leaves already. And I just don't know, because I know we're gonna have some more cold nights coming our way. I just don't know. I don't know, I'm gonna keep my eyes on it, because it's only that one. This one hasn't started sprouting yet. So, I don't know. This one is just peculiar this year. Really is peculiar. That it didn't even go into a full-on sleep state or dormancy. And now it's just sprouting to life already. My peach trees are still dormant. My pomegranate tree, which I went through and finished trimming up, it hasn't even started sprouting yet either. I have to clear all this debris away. I did all this the other day too. And so these branches though, I use these branches in my garden. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't put it away yet. Because that's what I use to cover anytime I plant seeds and stuff, to keep the cats and the birds out of my stuff. That's what you see right here in my lettuce bed here. So yeah, I use those, I reuse those branches. I don't know if you guys noticed as I was walking through here, but this trellis is not usually in this spot. It's usually in between these two beds right here. But this year I decided to move it because last year I had a hard time with reaching the middle of this bed here. And mind you, I only had sunflowers planted there, but I want to be able to utilize the full bed, be able to reach it all and not have to reach through something to get to it. So that's why I moved it to that side. And I'm going to put some the solar lights back on it. And I have one more thing I want to show you. And then I am through for this video. So I bought some solar lights. I put up this fence because I was telling you guys how I needed to enclose it for the tortoises this year, and keep them in one area away from my garden. So I put this little fence up, and then also I found these cute little solar dragonfly lights. And at night they look so pretty. It looks so good. Now I don't know how well it's gonna work because, let me see if I can bring you in. You see the cord that it's on, where they're linked together, is green. It's like a hunter green, a darker green. But I don't know, the tortoises might decide that that's some food and want to try and take a bite. So I don't know, I might end up changing this when they actually are inside this enclosure. Neither one of them is inside of there right now. I have my big one, Thaddeus, he's in the chicken coop. That's where he chose to overwinter. And Cornelia is in my shed on the side there, and that's where she chose to overwinter. So neither one of them are out here yet, but it's really nice at night. I have some photos, I'll put that on here so you can see what it looks like. And then I also trimmed down my crepe myrtle. I guess that's about it for right now. I just wanted to show you all the seaweed that I put in here, and to let you know that, you know, sometimes I just, or confess to you that sometimes I just don't think about picking up this camera. But I'll try and remember it as much as possible. Remind myself that I need to pick up the camera, because there's some things that I'm doing that you might want to see the process of. And if there is something that I've done that I didn't have video of, and you want to see what the process of it is, just let me know in the comment section, and I will try and put together a video to show you what it is that I did and run you through it. But a lot of times I just don't think of it. So I have some exciting things coming up really soon, some other projects that I haven't shown you yet, And I will show you that when I get to it, and I promise you I will show you the process of these next 2 projects that I'm working on. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, then go ahead and click that button. If you like this content, leave a comment. Let me know what you want to see more of, or you know, let me know what you think of these videos. I'm learning how to work this camera more. I learned how to do time lapse on it. I gotta learn how to do voiceovers on it, so I'm not there yet, but I'm learning little things here and there. But like and share the videos with people that might have similar interests, that might be wanting to start out a garden and need some ideas of how to arrange some things or whatever. So share my video. And as always, you guys, God bless. These are what the little solar dragonflies look like at night. They're really cute.